Hello, good morning, everyone. What's today? Today is Tuesday. It's Donna Kay here, coming live to you. I am in Instagram and I am in YouTube, and I'm trying to do double platforms today. So can you guys give me a wave in the chat? I want to make sure that my chat is coming through okay. Tell me where you are tuning in from and that you can hear me okay. This is the first time that I've done, well, maybe not the first time, but I don't normally do multiple platforms, but I just want to see if I can. Why not? I hope you guys are all well, but let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from. Are you on Instagram? Are you on YouTube? And how are you doing today? What's the weather like? It is so hot here in Seattle. So Seattle people get super hot when it's like 85 degrees. Right now, I want to let you know that the temperature is, I can see someone from Orlando. Hi, thanks for dropping in. The temperature here right now in Seattle is, oh my God, it's only 78. And you're probably all going to laugh at me, but it's going to be 94 degrees today, which is just so hot here for Seattle. I can see New Mexico, I can see Alabama, I can see Indiana. So many people tuning in from so many different areas. Thanks, guys, for letting me know in the chat that you're tuning in. I wanted to hop on here today to tell you a little story. And I'm really excited about what I'm going to share with you. So definitely stay tuned. I can see Texas in IG, Instagram. Thanks, guys, for letting me know. I want to tell you a story from when my son was maybe 5 or 6 years old. I remember we were in a public restroom and he was mad about something, which was commonplace. I don't even remember what he was mad about, but I do remember how everything went downhill so fast in that bathroom. And he actually launched an empty toilet paper roll over the bathroom stall, hitting me square in the back of the head. And then his screaming began, and it didn't stop for a full 10 minutes. And they were the longest 10 minutes of my life. And, all these women came into the bathroom and witnessed my son like rolling around on that disgusting, dirty floor. And I felt humiliated. That was only one incident. There were many of them when he was that age. And I want to ask you guys today listening in, have you ever been in a situation with your child that was similar to that? If you can relate to it, just go ahead and just give me a, I can relate in the comments. I think most of us can probably relate to the embarrassment that happens when our child with ADHD is struggling. And I share this story with you today because I want you to know that I've definitely been in your shoes, and I can relate to that feeling of feeling so overwhelmed and just that constant roller coaster, searching for answers, seeking the best for your child and for your family, and you're just not even sure where to start. I have been on that roller coaster of traditional ADHD symptom management, and let me tell you, it was a ride I wish I could have gotten off sooner. Traditional methods did nothing for my family but leave us feeling frustrated and discouraged. And my son was worse on ADHD meds than he was without them. Now, meds are great for some kids, but the side effects for us were unbearable. And the doctor eventually had him on 3 strong prescription medications and wanted to start him on a 4th. And most of these were not even dealing with the original ADHD symptoms. They were dealing with the side effects that were coming from the medication. And that bathroom event was one of so many that occurred during the time when we were trying various ADHD medications. And it's what led me to believe that I needed to find a different solution. What we were doing definitely wasn't working. So I was like on this mission to find something that would work. And I was determined to, fix my son's ADHD. But, what I know now, but I didn't realize back then, was that my son didn't need to be fixed. But that's a story for another day. That's a lie for another day. And the other thing I didn't realize was there's no magic ingredient that can fix ADHD. There's no magic pill. There's no magic supplement. There's no magic diet strategy. And for a long time, I thought that if we just found that perfect prescription, or we just found that perfect supplement, or if we just took out this food, all of our problems would disappear. But that's not how ADHD works. There isn't one magical thing. What I found instead is a step-by-step plan that can make a really big difference for families of kids with ADHD. Now, when I first, started learning about natural strategies to reduce ADHD symptoms, I personally did it all on my own. There was lots of trial and error, lots of research, lots of time, lots and lots of money. I went back to school, did my, degree, multiple certifications, but as we made changes in our diet and our lifestyle and brought in some key strategies, pretty soon we started seeing my son's symptoms drop by the wayside. Now, he's doing amazing and he's 100% medication free. And I actually wake up each morning looking forward to the day ahead, which I never did back then. And then I started working with other families of kids with ADHD and trying out our system with them too. And now I've been lucky enough to work with over 1,000 other families, and I'm confident that our system works for kids with ADHD. It's tested, it's proven, but that's not what I'm here to talk about today. Okay. I'm not here to just say this is what, the thing that you got to use. I shared this plan in an all new episode of a podcast that I was just interviewed on. It was called the Success Blueprint Podcast, which, if I'm being totally honest, went a totally different direction than I thought it would. It's honestly unlike anything that I've ever done in the past. So I wanted to hop on here today and invite you to actually tune into that podcast, because I think that if you have a child with ADHD, you will find it so helpful. Also, if there are any dads out there that are watching today, or if you've got a husband or the father of your child that, I think that they'd really appreciate it as well, because I was interviewed by a guy called Perry, and we even discussed ways that dads can start to feel better and happier as well. Now, I'll just share a little bit of a sneak peek of what you'll hear in this interview. We talked about the famous gumball test. And I know that sounds funny, but if you want to know for sure if foods affect your child, you can try out the famous gumball test to find out. And I shared that in this interview. I also shared the number one magic ingredient to reduce ADHD symptoms. This is where conventional ADHD treatments miss the mark. They want to give you that one magical ingredient that's going to sort of fix ADHD. But what happens when that magic ingredient doesn't work? We talked about why we want and need boring. Again, I know that sounds totally funny. As I said, this interview was like none I've done before. Years ago, when my son's ADHD symptoms were at their worst, I would have done anything for just that simple, normal, boring life. Not boring, but you know what I mean? Simple, normal life. A life where we could actually do normal daily tasks without the fear of meltdowns. We also talked about in the podcast the shrapnel effect and how ADHD doesn't just affect the individual with the diagnosis. It affects the other kids in the family. It affects the parental relationship. It affects the marriage. We also talked about how to stop wasting money and time on the pin the tail on the donkey method. As I said, I wasted so much time and money, probably over about $180,000, just guessing at what my son needed. And I see so many other families in my business making the same mistake. And I don't want that for you guys. I don't want that for anyone. You don't have to suffer and make that same mistake. So in the interview, I shared a better way to do things as well. We talked about why Americans are getting sicker and sicker. The US government benefits from people being sick. Other governments benefit from keeping people healthy. Our entire system here is messed up. How about when a parent also has ADHD? Laura, everything that we shared on this podcast is geared towards kids, parents, singles, anyone that's got ADHD. You know, all the strategies that I share is not only just for a child, it's for everyone. And then we finally talked about how dad can start to feel better too, and mum, obviously. You know, there are a lot of parents out there who aren't feeling well themselves. You know, Perry and I actually discuss how dads in particular can start to feel better with healthier weights, testosterone levels, relationship improvements, skin improvements. You know, I actually call this an interview, but really it's like a full on deep dive on ADHD management and how to help your entire family thrive. So I just wanted to jump on here and share that with you guys today. It's you can actually find the link in two ways. Okay, you can comment the word success, SUCCESS, on the replay of this Instagram live. I don't know on YouTube. I think it should work. It should work as well. One of my team will come through. I actually don't think it'll work on YouTube, but you can comment success. I'll post it shortly after finishing up this live, or you can find the link right now in my bio. Okay, so just go up to my bio on Instagram. On YouTube, it will be in the description. We'll come and pop that back through. Just look for the Success Blueprint podcast there. So guys, definitely check it out, because as I said, it went in a totally different direction than, you know, normal interviews that I do go. It was probably my most favorite interview I've ever done in my whole career. And just the dynamic between Perry and I, and just that different perspective was amazing. So definitely check it out, because I think you'll find it super, super helpful. But that's it for today, guys. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you all soon. Take care.